Here's my original radio and vent configuration. You can see there's 3 vents and a single DIN radio. But I wanted to change it for a 2 DIN radio, which means 2 places, and so it's got, double, and 1 vent. So I took out the 2 vents by carefully cutting the original vent and removing them, and left the top edge on there all the way to the end, and I used the bottom edge that I removed down here underneath the radio to finish off the plastic on the dash. So I got it inserted, reversing camera, so you can see here, you put it into reverse and there you go, you can see out the back. Now you can plug in USB or a memory card, watch videos on here. Even I can take my memory card out of my digital camera from scuba diving, and I can look back over the videos. So you've got your music, videos, photos, and then there's the Bluetooth, which I can use for taking calls when I'm driving. And you can plug in auxiliary, the old style connection of connecting a cable into this auxiliary socket here to play back items. Even you could plug a cable from your phone into there if you wanted to skip using the Bluetooth and cut down on your phone battery and so on. These are just options, but there you go. You can dim the light there, or you can turn it off while the radio is playing, and then just touch screen again and it comes back on. So nice little feature, cheap radio, but there you go, a 2 DIN radio in my Transporter T4, looking good. Okay, I've cut a piece of a shampoo bottle, and which is kind of rectangular, so I left the upsides on there so that when I put it into the vent, I'll be able to duct tape it quite adequately to the sides. This will block off the middle vent, and then just tape over completely with duct tape there to block off anything else. So the next shot you'll see will be this all duct taped into place. But I just wanted to just see the plastic bottle there, because it gives you a nice finished flat surface, so it won't obstruct the vent going through to the right hand side there. So when that's taped in there, you'll still be able to operate the vent, allowing air to come out through this side. That'll be able to give you plenty of cold air, and then behind the radio will be completely blocked off. You don't want air getting in there, not just because it's cold, but there might be dampness as well, which might get into the electronics. Now I've got the back of the vent duct taped with that piece of the plastic shampoo bottle. So you can see it's duct taped there all around the edges, so no air can get through, and it's sealed off. Now this vent, as I said earlier, is completely blocked off because I put a bit of sponge in at the back. Now you can put a bit of duct tape over that, maybe just to make sure it never moves. I don't think it will anyway, but just tape it just to be certain. So that's completely blocked off. Now if you look here, you can see the vent. So if I operate the vent, it opens. Now it doesn't open 100%, but it opens up quite sufficiently for it to be able to let as much air through there as you would want. So that'll just hit the back of the shampoo bottle, leaving enough room for the 2 DIN radio space. Now the piece that's cut off the bottom, it's important to retain that, because you might actually need that underneath the radio. So don't throw it away. Never throw anything away until you're finished. And never do anything that you can't undo. So cut carefully, and all the best with that. Don't be afraid. Now if you have a second one of these as a spare, if you make a complete mess of it, you can always start again. But hopefully that won't happen. So there you go, that's looking good. And you'll see that going into the dash now shortly as a completed component. And I'll get my vent grill in, and hopefully it'll all look well. Okay. Here's the finished product. I've got the radio in, and and the reversing cable is hooked up in the back. And just so you know, if you put in a tow bar or a reversing camera, at the back of the housing unit for the tail lights, there's connection points. So you just use those little clip-on plugs onto the cables, and you can just push them onto those connection points.